Hey connections, it's Richie Ó'hAllmhuráin. I wonder if I have the basis for one of my short recordings. Normally I do about 5 minutes. Often I reference folklore and mythology. My paintings of late, they've been about King George, St. George, the Dragon Slayer. So we're conditioned in our current age to consider mythology as basically fiction. Let me put it to you that in fact there was a George and there was a dragon. Another myth, of course, it's not as commonly known. It's of Sophia. And then you've got the Gnostics. You get into the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Old Testament. Anyway, that's another myth that has a very, very strong grounding in reality. The Gnostics, they spoke of the archons. Now, in this age, we know all about the archons. You know, they came from a part of space, Alpha Draconis, out beyond Orion. And my guides, because I'm a channel, you know, they tell me that that part of space, it's very, very hard going out there, apparently. So the archons, we call them the reptilians. They prefer reptoids. That's another notion that came to me. So, so the reptoids, right, they've got us, mankind, held hostage underground. I'm sorry to be the one to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not that bad news, as I like to say. All right, we're underground in a simulation held hostage, but the crack is good. And that's actually, when you come out here, where I am now, the Matrix, which is that underground construct that I speak of, and the surface, in a place like this, it's the same. So, Drunvalo, another teacher, he'll tell you about the Merkaba. So it's a form of consciousness, kind of a state of being, also super interesting. But yeah, so it's Drunvalo talks originally of when you're up in the hills, that things are the same as they are on the surface. So yeah, getting out into nature, very, very beneficial. You know, you can expand your consciousness much easier than being in the super reactionary matrix, as we call it. Yeah, in my previous videos, I tried to explain how the matrix is becomes very, very tough on both the micro level and the macro level. Obviously, on the macro level, you've got us on the brink of World War III. You know, you've got Ukraine, you've got Syria, Afghanistan, you know, so that's the macro problem. But then you've got, in your own life, these very, very small, for instance, all right, let me skip that bit, because you can work that out yourself, the kind of thing that bothers us on a day-to-day basis. Anyway, what I'm saying is that it's all written in to the Matrix as a form of keeping mankind in a very low state of consciousness. So I like to say, Viva la Revolution, Richie Ó'hAllmhuráin.